So you just got orders to Oahu and you were trying to decide between renting, living on base, or buying a home. Hi, my name is Victoria Murphy. I'm a licensed realtor here on the island of Oahu, and I am founder of NewDoor Homes Hawaii. And today I wanted to spend some time breaking down the differences between renting, living on base, or purchasing a home. Because I might be the first realtor to tell you this, but buying a home is not for everyone, and it might not be the best decision for your family. So hopefully this video helps break down those different options for you. So the first statistic that I want to start with is that rent has increased in 26 states. Hawaii is included in that 26. So what that means is that renting is increasingly becoming more expensive. And if you just got your order to Oahu and haven't started digging too much into BAH actually went down the past 2 years. So from a perspective of a new military family moving to the island, that creates a barrier. If you have connected with me already, or maybe you're connected with another realtor to start getting rental updates, you've noticed that a lot of rentals don't allow pets. And if they do allow pets, they're typically only allowing pets that weigh 30 pounds or less. I don't know about you, but I really love my big dogs, and I know a lot of military families that tend to have pets over the 30-pound mark. So then they're alienated from even more options. So what that leads to them having to do is spend more than their BAH on a rental home just because they didn't want to live on base, or maybe buying wasn't fit for them. So renting can be a great option, but not only are all those different elements happening at the same time, we're also seeing that it's really expensive to get into. So if we're thinking of you're already going to be spending more than your BH on the month, so let's just say, even though a lot of your BHs are probably higher than this, just for sake of easy numbers, $3,000 a month is the rent that you've been able to secure. So to move in, you're going to have your first month's rent, which is $3,000, plus your security deposit, which is typically equal to that first month rent. So we're at $6,000 already. Let's include any application fees, any pet deposits. Let's also say that's $500. So in total, you've came out $6,500 from your own pocket. That's a lot of money. And the reality is that not a lot of military families have that available to them. So what's the alternative? The alternative is moving into base housing. So base housing can be great if you're looking for something low stress. So renting and living on base share that commonality that the property manager or the leasing company, depending on the situation that you're looking at, is going to be responsible for those maintenance expenses. If something goes wrong, you just have to call somebody, and hopefully within 24 hours that issue is going to be corrected, or at least an appointment's going to be scheduled for that to be taken care of. Now, Oahu offers the opportunity to live in homes that are below BAH, which is an amazing option if that is possible for you. There's a long wait list associated with those though, so it isn't always an opportunity that's provided to every single family. Additionally, with those come other problems. Like, I've heard a lot of complaints about mold or just general maintenance issues with those BAH saver homes, but again, that is just speculation, and definitely look into that on your own. So if you look at full BAH homes, that can be anywhere from as low as $2,850 all the way up depending on your rank. And on average, an E3 family on a 3-year tour is going to earn $100,000 and more once you take in COLA, but just from BAH is $100,000. And where is that going? Is that going towards base housing? Is that going towards a rental and paying someone else's mortgage? If it is, that's totally fine, because that makes sense for your family. But let's say that you wanted to see what that money could do for you. So instead of spending that money in a rental or base housing, you choose to pursue home ownership. I'm not gonna lie to you, home ownership prices in Hawaii are terrifying. When we moved here, we came from Alaska, and the pricing up there is kind of high, definitely not anywhere like Oklahoma where you're seeing a lot of low prices, or any other mainland states. But anyways, the general gist is that if you're looking at a condo, you're gonna be looking anywhere from $350,000 and up. There's really no upper limit on a condo on the island, because you can get luxury condos in the $20 million range. Anyways, that's scary. That was scary for us when we moved here. That's scary for a lot of people when they move here. But the BH is so high here to accommodate those housing prices. So if we look at a $450,000 condo and assume an HOA of about $400 to $500 per month, that's going to be below BAH for an E3 to E4 family. That's pretty huge. So if we are going that home ownership route and we're able to secure a home below BAH, what about the cost to actually purchase the home? So in this market, it is really competitive and you're seeing a lot of appraisal gap clauses. But what I feel like other agents aren't saying is that the odds of having to actually use that clause are fairly low if you're being strategic. So with my clients, what we do is we get very systematic. We sit down and we look over all of the different home sales in that neighborhood to see what a reasonable offer would be to protect you before you even submit an offer. So yes, you want to have some funds set aside in case the worst case happens, but 85% of my clients this year have not had to pay an appraisal gap clause. And that's huge because we're going to continue talking about this a little bit more and break it down a little bit more. And this is why I get so excited about the VA loan and being able to pursue home ownership on Oahu. So you're able to purchase a home for less than you're going to spend to move into a rental because the average closing cost is 1 to 1.5% of the loan. Worst case is going to be the equivalent. So let's say that we break down the numbers and you were going to rent for $6,500 in total to move in because we have $3,000 a month in rent, $3,000 in your security deposit, and then the leftover is the pet deposit and any application fees. So let's say you spend that same amount of money to buy a home. On average, in 3 to 4 years, my clients are seeing returns of over $50,000. In fact, I have clients that sold and got $300,000 into their pockets after closing costs, after all realtor commissions, the whole shebang, into their pockets, deposited into their bank account. 3 to 4 years of home ownership. If you look at what's happened on the island in just the past little bit, I have clients that have a minimum of $50,000 in equity, all the way up to $200,000. And that's just after 1 year or less of home ownership. Now, I don't know about you, but that can be life-changing money. For the same amount or less than it costs to move into a rental, you can invest in yourself and have this transformative process happen for you when you time to leave the island. And even if we look before COVID, the appreciation rates were 3 to 4%. So maybe we're not going to experience such a victory as $300,000 plus in equity. You're still likely going to be seeing anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 once the market stabilizes itself. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that, because when we break it down in a systematic way, we're able to get you a home below BAH each month. We're able to have you invest in yourself so that you're able to possibly reap in those benefits. What are your thoughts on that? I'm curious if that's, having you think about wanting to pursue home ownership, or if you're just like, that's okay, it's not for me. And if it's not, that is totally fine. I would just like to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on that. So comment below what you think, and if you are open to wanting to have this conversation further and look at what it would be like for your family, please DM me. I am always available to answer any of your real estate questions, or if you're just moving to the island and would like to have a connection here, please message me as well. Until next time, guys, aloha.